In a rock, I'ma go hard, I ain't killing them soft. I'm up in the hills, I feel like I'm Lauren, you ready or not? I like who got businesses, I'm CEO of mine. 1980 Prezi Rolly, we been working overtime. The witness, the police, the pigs, I don't eat swine. Son of Jacob, this biblical, my flow, the whole of God. Save money ground up in the gutter where they found us. Stones in the faint mouth rush. More vacays, more bucks, more race, more foreign trucks, more on a tour bus, more pour cup, toast to the winners, throw it up.
Juicy, where the drums at?
I'm the best, I'm the best, as you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, I'm the best, as you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get my go, get my go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold.
It's Madden NFL 23, and here comes Denzel Ward. He's putting together an incredible season, now in double digits with 10 picks. It's the Browns and the Titans, and it comes your way next on EA Sports.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Cleveland Browns and the Tennessee Titans. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we take a look at this Titan Ball Club entering play. It's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the calendar for these guys. Their bodies could probably use a break, but they have to push on.
And they're really not as worried about that as maybe we think. They know they've got the entire offseason to rest. All they care about is the game in front of them and finishing strong.
Meanwhile, for the Browns here, they're in a real groove of late. Winners of 5 of their last 6 games.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Here comes the Tennessee offense, and you see Ryan Tannehill leading them out.
And last week's loss came despite a clean game on his end, throwing the ball with 2 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. His job this week is simple. Do it again. Continue to avoid turnovers and hope that what sunk them last week resolves itself this time around.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be second down. And, Charles, you look at this defense. They were a very loose group coming into the week, knowing they kind of had the upper hand going into this one, taking on a team that hasn't won in a month and a half.
And that works well for you if you establish your dominance early in the game against a team that's struggling. But if somehow they fashion some plays together early, knock them back on their heels, that looseness can be used against them. Then they're trying to scramble to make sure they get their game right. And they'll use him out of the backfield and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
Tannehill on third down. Well, they would have gotten a conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be 4th down.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
This is taken at the 23. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. Leading him out is their quarterback, the former 12th overall pick. Some refer to him as the natural Deshaun Watson.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. A check on the numbers for Chubb from a week ago. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
2nd down, here's Chubb again. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
An extra defensive back out there for the Titans now here for 3rd down. Here's Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. 13 yards to pick up there. Good for a Cleveland first.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Now it's Watson. He's got Fuller. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. The Browns at 11-3 on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Slot man moves right. On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And again, it's Chubb. Running right through him. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? Because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
And they'll go backwards here. Losing yardage to the 14. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes, they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time, he uses quickness to make a play.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Right where this set him down started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the 1st down and move the chains. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. No score after 1 on EA Sports. On 4th down, Watson. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Holding offense.
So reverse the celebration. We'll see if they have something else in their bag of tricks.
And isn't that always tough to watch? When they score and you see the excitement, and then when they realize those points aren't going to count, can they get it back together and find their way back to the end zone?
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number one. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. You know, Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in second and long yardage.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3.
Holding offense.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
Well, second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Tannehill. Completing it here to Marvin Jones. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. Well, a heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th. Here's Mitch Wishnowsky now on to punt. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. They begin this drive with Chubb. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
43 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Now a throw here going to be taken in by the tight end Njoku. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st down, Watson. Right back to Njoku. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Watson, and he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a 1st down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. They'll try again with Chubb. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb, his 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And they're able to add on to their advantage. Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
A shotgun snap for Tannehill. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Tannehill finding Woods for the Titans' first down. Now Tannehill. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
Tannehill's throw here into the hands of Jones. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. To the air again, Tannehill. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. From the gun, here's Tannehill. Going to Woods, but that pass is intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And the Browns are going to get it back here just shy of the 20.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
After the interception, here's Watson. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
And that's a nice job there, because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Watson over the middle, complete. That's Fuller. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
Oh, look at the juke. It'll be a net of 40 yards there following a 43-yard punt, 3-yard return, and control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. 19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And this one hauled in. Again, it's Hooper. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6.
Tannehill. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. The final shot here before the break, Tannehill. Looking downfield for Jones. floater there is incomplete. So we are at halftime here on... All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Browns offense getting set to go to work here to start the third. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys are tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Second down, here's Chubb again. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Watson. This is the tight end, Njoku. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Watson. He's got Njoku over the middle. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
A yard in the wrong direction makes 3rd down tougher. 3rd down and 9.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack. And I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes. Bud Dupree off the edge and getting to the quarterback. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 the previous week, you're counting on continuing that momentum. They didn't get that done in the first half of the game. Let's see now if they start to bring even more exotic pressure towards the quarterback.
Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the 1st down conversion. And that's what you've got your tough little slot receiver for, isn't it? Right there, those 4th down conversions in the middle of the field.
He knows that's where he has to make his living, and that's where he has to make plays to help his team. And no one is asking him to do anything more or less than do exactly what we saw there.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. To throw is Watson. He's got Njoku. And he coughed it up. It's picked up by the Titans. And they're going to have another 1st down as he's going to be tackled at the Browns' 30. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line.
I don't know about you, but I'm going to go to the positive side this time. Yeah, there was a fumble at the end of this one, but what a sustained drive. And if they keep stringing those together, you got to like their chances.
And credit the defense, though. You're out there for that long, you start to get... And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. And Chubb will try the middle here, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Tackle there by Alex Anzalone.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense get a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. it's Watson. Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked by Kevin Byard. And the Titans are going to take possession here at their own 6-yard line.
The Titans take over first and 10 at their own 6-yard line.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
At his own 9-yard line. A 3-yard pickup. Brings up second and 7.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he'll be taken down after a decent gain, and that will bring us to the end of this third quarter of play. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of...
So we'll get the penalty all sorted out when we get back. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his... But they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. This is caught. It's Woods. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Now it's Tannehill. Well, that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. On second and 10, Tannehill. Caught by Jones. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Tannehill on third down. That's complete to Treylon Burks. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're
looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward.
Holding. Defense.
Wait a second, they declined the penalty?
That penalty
I'm
is
as puzzled
declined.
as you are, partner. I don't understand how anytime you lose possession of the ball, yet you turn down a penalty that would give you possession back. Let's make this simple. Anyone who plays the game, take the football. Always take the football.
They find some open field here. played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. The bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. From the 10. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Tennessee offense set to go again. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. This complete to Jones. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
Holding offense.
He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side.
Still first
down
down
for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
It's complete. Burks. They're giving those short little routes, tackled him in bounds too. They're just not wanting to get beat over the top.
Yeah, and if you can't really get downfield, take the short routes. But now you got to have guys who can actually break tackles and increase those gains.
Now a throw here to his running back. They showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. From the gun on 3rd down, Tannehill. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Whistles now in a timeout defensively. So a wise move as they'll use the first of their timeouts to force one more play before the 2-minute warning. Again, Tannehill. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Now Tannehill. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. That you look at on the sidelines, nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. They go up the middle with Chubb. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb with career touchdown number 91. He joins a group that includes Tony Dorsett and Isaac Bruce, among others. And the Browns are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. The Browns kicking team out there now as they'll send this one away. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Facing a big fourth-quarter deficit here, things not looking good. You know, this offense, though, they've been in the top half of the NFL so far this season, but in this one, well, their defense has really struggled. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Here's Tannehill. Quick hitter here, it's complete. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Here's Tannehill. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. And defensively, you look at the numbers. Another incomplete pass that we just saw, and they're under 200 yards passing for the game, so they've done their job on that side of the ball.
Yeah, recently I was actually working a game where a quarterback had a streak of 5 straight games without a 200-yard game. And that was a big talk, both in his town and amongst his team. How do we get the passing game going? So big credit to them, holding them under 200 today.
A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before we hit triple zeros. And Watson's going to throw it here. And that is taken in by Njoku. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
But they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field. So you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Browns, the wins keep coming as this one moves them to 12-3 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for the Titans, they hit double digits in losses as they fall to 5-10. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to Houston to take on the Texans.